Hello there, my name is Hocus and welcome back to another video in the Minecraft LP series. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. I'm having a great weekend so far and I hope you guys have had the same because this video I believe will be coming out on a Monday, so your weekend is probably over. But I hope you had a good one and I hope you're ready for a brand new week. So thank you for tuning in today. If you don't know where we are right now, then first of all, you should probably go back and watch episode 30 because that is the episode in which we got started on this new deep storage area where we are going to be storing excess items that are taking up too much space over in the regular storage, which is over that way somewhere. So I will go over a couple of things here just so that you guys get a small recap. So first of all, I've actually began storing some items here. So we've brought over some cobblestone and I've got this little system in place. So if the item is rotated, not rotated at all, so it's in its regular position, then that means the chest is full. However, if we rotate it around 7 places, so that it is 1 rotation off of being back to its original, that means that it's still being stored in, and once it is full, we can click that one more time, straighten it out, but for now, we'll leave it as it is, and just play it as we've got it going. So far, I haven't moved too much stuff over here. There will be more to bring across, but I just thought I would show you guys the system I'm using to make sure that we are filling up chests before opening new ones, and I think it'll work quite well. And if you guys didn't want to head back to episode 30 for a recap, then let me give you a quick rundown. So starting over here at the cow farm for some reference, you can take a left and run to the end of the ravine here, and we've built ourselves this pretty awesome looking 5x5 vault door over the pressure plate. That opens things up. You can head on through into the deep storage area, and you are welcomed to this grand view. So things have changed for those of you that were at episode 30. You can see there are new blocks, so let's quickly take a look at what I've done off camera. I've been slowly but surely grinding away here, and it's I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough to get work done, and there are a few reasons why this is the case. Firstly, because as I mentioned in the last episode, it was my birthday in the past week, so I've been doing a bunch of stuff surrounding that celebration, and that's taken a lot of time, obviously, because there are a bunch of people that have wanted to make plans with me, and I've wanted to make plans with a bunch of people. So we've been doing a lot of fun stuff, and it has been a pretty cool week. As well as that, the new FIFA came out, and you guys obviously know by now, I mention this quite often, I'm a huge football, or soccer for you North Americans, fan, and that game always draws me in every single year. I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't buy it because EA are just, terrible game developing company. They use some really bad practices, but don't worry guys, I'm one of the very few that will buy the game but never ever contribute to their microtransactions. So I feel like I'm not part of the problem just yet. But that's been why there has been a little bit less content this week, and B, it's been tough for me to work on the world. But so far I'd say I like what we've got and I will keep developing here. But we're gonna be moving away from the deep storage for today. I've got a little bit of a plan that I want to look into. So we've got this iron farm in the world, and you know, it doesn't look too bad, right? It's not my greatest ever build. I'm sure that we could do something a little bit better with it. But that's not really the point that I'm trying to make here. It's rather slow. It does produce iron if you stay in the area, but you have to be here for quite a while to get any sort of significant amount. And it's not that we've been low on iron at all, because in fact, we don't really use iron that often at the moment. There haven't been many projects that have required it, so we are stockpiling it quite well. But I've seen a design recently that Endevar used on the Ramblecraft server. If you haven't seen any episodes on that SMP series, I would definitely recommend you go check it out. It's been a lot of fun, but again, that's a tangential subject. I've seen his design, and it involves 4 kind of separate villages that contribute to a single iron farm. And I think it would be very beneficial for us to try and build that today, just so that we can start ramping up the iron production. Because I don't want to get to a situation where there is a project that requires a bunch of it and we don't have enough, if that might ever be a situation that will arise. And I want to be able to also AFK here and just produce tons of the stuff, because iron is always going to be useful in the world, and there's never going to be a reason why we wouldn't need it. So I think today we're going to try and get to work on that. But first of all, we need to kind of decide where things are going to begin. So let me think about this. I think we'll start by removing some of these blocks here. I think that'll be a good place to start. So we're going to shorten this chute a little bit So I did shorten the shoot slightly, but I think we're going to go a little bit further and just tear the farm down because we won't need this. We're going to build a new one, as I say. So I think it's better off if we just clear this space and then we can begin using it for whatever comes next. Okay then guys, so this is what we're left with after destroying most of the farm. I've kept the villagers in place, got rid of the zombie, and got rid of all of the water that pushes the golems down to their doom. I'm thinking though that this shoot now looks kind of stumpy, so I'm going to try to add an extra layer, but we want the layers to finish with the andesite so that we can make sure everything is even. So again, we'll just go up by, I think, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll have another layer of andesite, and then we will just have spruce coming up the side again. So pretty similar design. It's not going to be anything different, just raising it up by one more level. With the extra layer in place, we can begin getting started on the iron farm itself. So we kind of need to be careful here because I want to center everything on this chute. This is exactly where the golems are going to drop eventually. So I think what we're going to do first is map things out and then we'll begin the build. So we need to go out about 13 blocks or half of that. So 7 from the center. So this will be the center, then it'll be 1, 2, or will it be 6? It'll be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we want to do the same on the other side. And this is just to create a plan for ourselves. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plan is in place, and the way this farm works is that there will be a zombie that follows tracks that I'm gonna lay down around the outside of the chute here, and momentarily every time it goes around the track it will trigger 4 separate villages to spawn an iron golem. So one loop should be 4 iron golems, and that's probably about as best as I can explain it until we actually jump into the build. But we need to consider certain things here. So at this height, wherever the tracks may be, will be the height at which the iron golems spawn. So we're probably going to want to take that up by a couple blocks at least. So let's go up by 3. That'll be the chute that leads into the center. And the reason why we're going up 3 blocks is to account for the height of a golem. Golems are 2.7 blocks tall, so we're just going to call it 3 for the sake of making things simple. And then I think we're actually going to go up by another 3 blocks. And then right here... Oh, there you are, dude. Right here maybe is where we're going to begin the tracks. I will take a little bit of time off camera just to make sure that is correct. Alright guys, since there is going to be a lot of grinding to do this episode, I've actually gone ahead and built the track system, and we're going to try it out ourselves in just a moment. But before we do that, we do just need to lay down some water on each of the 4 corners. And where the water is where the zombie is going to travel slowest past the virtual villages that we're going to create. And it should give the zombie enough time to spook the villagers into spawning a golem on each corner. So that's the reason why we've got the water. Now let's test this thing out. I don't know if these trapdoors are going to make a difference, because in the tutorial they use pressure plates instead, but I can't see that making a difference. So let's just give it a go here. We should just float slowly around the corner. Yeah, this looks about right. And then we should drop down and continue on in this direction. Okay, we're going very slowly at the moment. Something's up. I don't know if that's because we, the player, are in here, or... Alright, I did press forward there, so I don't know if I was behind the quick movement. I'm not entirely sure. So I wasn't particularly sure what was going on there with the super slow movement. It was almost like the game thought that we were still in the water, even though we transferred to the tracks. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen when we finally get the zombie up here. But if it does, I'm sure we can think of a quick fix and solution. So the next step was to add a ring of slabs over top of the tracks. And the reason for this is because each time the zombie exits the water, it will be at risk of burning up in the sun. So we don't want that to happen. And that is an easily fixable problem just by placing some blocks over the top of the ones that it will be exposed to the sunlight on. So that's the reason why we've got this slab ring running around the outside. I'm not entirely sure what the next step is, but I would imagine we are going to be quickly moving on to setting up our miniature villages, which will be 1 in each of the 4 corners here, I believe. Oh dear. Oh dear. We had to rebuild the entire thing, and there are a couple reasons why, which I will quickly go over, but it wasn't that painstaking, to be honest. So the first thing I considered was that we actually need to drop the golems as far away as possible from the villages as quickly as possible, because that will allow more to spawn, more iron golems to spawn. And secondly, I actually misinterpreted the design of the farm and built it a little bit too low for us to have our 2 water streams down there. So it had to be a little bit higher either way. So I thought I'd just get that done off camera real quick. But as I say, the next step definitely is to add in the villages. So I will get to that mostly off camera, I would say, and we will then pick up from that position. You know what, guys? They're actually quite simple to make, so I think we'll do one together on camera. But this is what the villages are going to look like. They look very, very strange indeed, but it will do the trick, I'm hoping. So what you need to do, first of all, is create sort of a diagonal that you can move out and build onto. So we'll begin with our glass block right here, and we can get rid of these blocks. Then you'll place down a redstone dust on the glass. 2 slabs on the inside facing the farm like so. And then we will have a platform that jets out this way. So this is where the beds will go, and this way. And then we can place those beds down. So we'll have 1 here and 2 on this side facing the inside of the farm like so. And then what you want to do is place a piece of string here, a piece of string here, carpet on top of string, carpet on top of string, and then just carpet over the tops of the beds. And then finally, to round things off, we'll just have a couple blocks in place to prevent the villagers from exiting the village. And I believe they all just stand on the block here with the redstone dust. So this is pretty much it. We've got 2 more to get in, and then it's time for the golem killing chambers. And my mistake, we did forget one slight thing. We have to just remove the blocks from underneath the beds. I don't know if this is of vital importance, but I'm going to do it anyway because this is what the tutorial shows. Just checking in again to show you that we have completed all of the micro villages. So we've got 1 in each corner for a total of 4. And I'm assuming that realistically you could build this farm as big as you wanted to and have as many villages on the route round as desired. But I think 4 is a good number because A, it will produce a decent amount of iron, and B, it means that we don't have to create too many of the water streams that will drag all of the iron golems towards their inevitable demise, which will be at the bottom of this chute right here. So next step will be to create those areas that sort of funnel the golems. So they'll spawn in small glass boxes. They'll then drop down into some water streams, which will be all the way down there somewhere. So we'll have 2, one that directs them inwards and then one that directs them towards the center of the farm here. And I don't know where we'll go from there, but I'm always keeping in the back of my mind that we're going to have to get 3 villagers in each of these compartments and a zombie up here as well. So that is going to be the grind for today's episode, most definitely. But yeah, there's still a bit of building to do, so let's get on with that first of all. Okay then, so for the killing chambers, how are we going to go about this? I think we're going to have to use another typical skyblock tactic, which is the water bucket. So we'll drop that there and just hope that it doesn't flow anywhere that will destroy anything we built. It shouldn't do. And then from here, we can just come on the underside, go 1, 2, 3, and not slab. We'll go polished andesite. Okay, that should work. And then what we want to do is get a block in there and kind of make our way out. We should be okay now to get rid of the water. So what we need to do is come out 9 blocks, including this one right here. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then again, let's maybe do this one first so that we can actually reach. So that should do it for the walls. We've got ourselves a nice, I guess, 7 by 7 area on the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And next up will be just to place some slabs down at the bottom so that we've got some sort of floor for the water to flow over. And we'll just cover in this entire area. And with the floor in place, that leaves us with just one final trick for this area. So we'll just place down a bucket of water in each of the 4 corners. Okay, and then I have to calculate where this is going to be. I think it is going to be right here. So we'll place 4 fence gates and just open them up like so. And then you'll want to break out the slabs underneath like this. And that will be the area in which the iron golems fall through. So just down there will be our water collection system that takes them towards the center. But we, first of all, need one of these things on each of the 4 corners. Check it out, guys. Check it out. We've got a golem chamber in each of the 4 corners, which is that section of the build complete. Now we need to move on to the final touches before we have to get 3 villagers into each of these holding cells, and of course a zombie onto the rails. That is going to be a nightmare, but we will get it done because this iron farm should be producing a lot of nice resources for us, so it's worthwhile. Anyway, I am about to get started with these water channels, and I think, is the best place to start down here? I think that might be the case. So what we kind of need to do is measure out exactly how far we need to go. So give me this. All right. And we're gonna, where are we gonna take this? I think what we'll do is, I think I need more slabs actually. I think we're gonna use slabs. So give me just a second. So here is approximately 1/4 of the waterways required to transport the golems towards their death. So we've got one that comes from underneath the spawning area, and that will drop them down into this main chute, and the main chute will eventually lead all the way to the end, and then they drop down into the fiery pit of death. So we've still got a little bit more to build here. We've got a few more of these to go. So we're going to need another one right here, and then we'll get 2 on the opposing side and another central channel. So let me go ahead and get that taken care of off camera, and then it is going to be time for the grind. Oh, baby. Hey, do you know what's fun, guys? You know what is fun? It's fun when you are in your world and you need some light gray dye, but first of all, you've pretty much harvested all the flowers in the area that could contribute to that, and second of all, squid are the only good source of black dye in the game. So I'm over here at the hive, doing a little bit of swimming in the local rivers, and we're after these guys. So that also reminds me, 117 release has been confirmed. Caves and Cliffs update looks very, very interesting indeed. Cannot wait. But how on earth did the glow squid win that vote? That vote that was seeing which mob was coming next in the game. I was sure that Isolager was going to win. I was positive. Somehow the glow squid wins. I don't know. Maybe there were some popular Minecraft community members out there that were kind of coercing their supporters into voting the same way that they wanted to, and perhaps they wanted the glow squid. I don't know. But as I say, Isolager seemed like the obvious choice to me. Glow squid could be cool. I don't know what it might provide for us in the game. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Either way, Caves and Cliffs update looks awesome, guys. Cannot wait. Whew. So the squid hunting went to plan, and we've finished up all of our waterways. The only thing missing is, of course, water, and it is in the name, so obviously it's going to be quite important to us. So how are we going to figure this out? What I want to do is actually work from the back towards the front. So we're purposely going to go 8 blocks in so that the water ends right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to need just a little bit of help to get the water down. So let's do something like this. Then go 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome. That ends right there, which is exactly where we need it to end. And then in order to have multiple water streams, you can use trapdoors to have a little bit of an effect here. So we'll block the water from flowing backwards, but we'll open them up so that mobs can flow through. And then how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Oh, I've already made a slight mistake here, I think. Yes, I have. So what we want to do is actually pick this water back up. And I think instead we want it to flow from the top here. So we'll place a couple more of these guys down. And then we'll do something like this instead. So that should still end right at the tip. Awesome. All right. And then we're going to need just a few more water buckets here. And these guys can go right in the back there. All right, and that should do the trick. So the golems fall down here, and then, of course, right now, my hands are off the keyboard, but I am being pushed towards the center, so this is what will happen to the golems. And then once they make their way to the end here, they will inevitably fall to their demise, and we will be able to collect their beautiful, beautiful resources. Okay, so all we need to do now is copy this design up to here, up to there, and all across the other side of the waterways. Sweet! Water is in the waterways, and they are now actually waterways rather than just regular ways, which is pretty cool. So the rest of today's episode is going to be a lot of off-camera grinding. You guys probably don't want to see me transporting these dudes up into their pods, but I will explain a quick idea that I have had that might make this easier. So you've probably already noticed the issue here. We've got 6 villagers, we actually need 12, so we need to multiply the amount of villagers that we have by 2. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to grab 2 of these guys, move them into a pod, and I'm going to give them food. And I'm hoping that they can give birth to a baby and that baby just remains inside of the pod. If that works, that is going to save us a bunch of time, because then we can transport the next two into here, for example, do the same thing again. And then once we've removed villagers from these villages, I can actually use the villagers inside of there to begin breeding and then producing more numbers. And then I'll use the villagers that we breed down here for the next two pods. So I think the first two might be fairly easy if my plan works. The second two will be a little bit more of a grind. The zombie I'm not worried about. That's fairly straightforward. I just need to get a name tag so that I can name him or give him an object. I think I'm going to try and name him this time. I prefer that method. And then we should be good to go. But we will give this a test run once I've done all of that annoying stuff, which I'm definitely going to do off camera. And I hope this thing works, because we've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this. A lot of resources, and I don't really want to have to change anything. I hope I don't have to, but we'll certainly find out, won't we? Oh boy, so it's looking kind of wacky, right? And we are actually on the final villager, so I'm going to show you guys what I've been doing in terms of getting those guys up here. So first of all, I expanded their little area and added some beds, because my original plan to breed the babies in the pods didn't work. So I bred them down here instead, and that worked out okay. So we just need one more of these dudes. So what you're going to do is place down the cart, force him inside. There he goes. And then their journey begins up this huge track, and then they continue onwards until finally they hit this activator rail. That breaks them free of the cart. You can collect the cart. Try not to hit the villager if you can help it. And he did the work for us. He jumped right in. So maybe eventually I'll throw a splash potion down there just to heal him up. But that is it. We've got 3 villagers in each of the pods. We just now need our zombie friend. This has been a bit of a pain in the butt, guys. This is the second zombie that I've had to bring up here. So this time I'm not going to destroy the rails. I did it once, destroyed the rails, and then somehow a golem spawned like here and just ended up killing the zombie as it came around the track. So yeah, that was not fun, but I think things seem to be working. It's not, doesn't look to be 100% consistent. It does generally spawn a golem, but sometimes it seems as though it doesn't. So we'll keep an eye on it for a few seconds here. Okay, we got one there. So we're 2 for 2 at the moment. Are we going to make it 3 for 3? Come on, guys. Yes, we are. Very good. You can see them all going down. I like that. That looks pretty cool. All right, 4 for 4. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Come on, 4 for 4, please. Oh, okay, so that's what I'm talking about. You see right there, we didn't get one, but if I follow it around, we should begin to get the cycle going again. There you go, there's one. But either way, this is way more efficient than what we had, right? Because we're now getting, I don't know how long this loop takes, but we used to get 1 golem every 30 seconds or so. I would say we're probably going to get about triple or quadruple that now, if we're lucky. So what's more to do before we end today's episode than go and take a look from inside the base as well? I think that would be a nice perspective to view this from. So this is generally where I'd be AFKing when I do allow the iron farm to AFK. And before this golem came down, there was actually one in there moments before this one arrived. So it does look to be a little bit faster, but again, we've kind of gone quiet, and that is not a good sign, because I was sort of expecting to see, like, okay, there's another one. That was relatively quick, I guess. Probably a little bit faster than it usually is. What I'm hoping is once this one dies, we get another one pretty quickly, because I would like to see some sort of consistency here. How long is it going to be? Okay, yeah, there we go. So that was pretty fast. So I would say that rates are definitely up. And I just had another thought as well. We've still got those villagers in the holding cell up there. So once we destroy that holding cell, that might be messing around with the village mechanics slightly. Once we destroy that and move the villagers away and delete those beds, I think this thing will work a little bit more smoothly, a little bit more efficiently as well. So hopefully we won't have too many gaps in between golems dying. But we've already got a bunch of resources in here. So I think what I'm going to do... Oh, a few things did actually fall down into the chute, it seems. I think what I'm going to do before I do any sort of AFKing is just to clear the inventory out, and then we'll take a look at if this is that much quicker or not. It should be. As I say, you can see when we were up there, we were actually getting a lot more golems. Oh, look, there's 2 at a time. That is good to see. That's very good to see. So we never have had this situation before, so I would definitely say that, yes, rates are up, and this should produce a lot more iron for us in the long run. All right then, guys, that is going to be it for episode 31 of the Minecraft LP series. I hope you had fun with this one. This was a very productive episode, right? We've ramped up our iron productivity in the world. We've converted a farm that was producing about 1 golem per 30 seconds to a farm that I think is going to produce around 3 or 4 every 30 seconds. So it's much more efficient. You can see there are a couple more going in right now. It's always good to see. You love to see it. So if you guys did enjoy today's episode, then please consider dropping a like down below. That would be much appreciated by myself. Any questions, suggestions, comments, or feedback, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to read every single one of them and respond to those I believe are due a response. And finally, if you're new around here, then first of all, welcome. My name is Hocus. I hope you enjoyed your stay on the channel today. Thank you for tuning in. Please also consider hitting that subscribe button down below, the red one. That will allow you to stay tuned to this series. And I am also running a survival SMP, or survival multiplayer. You don't need to abbreviate words that you say, Hocus. An SMP series that involves a bunch of other great content creators, and that is always a bunch of fun as well. So make sure to check that out. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it from me for today. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.